Alrighty guys, what's going on? This is your boy Ligo, one half and duo. Um Basically I'm doing this thing called Gaming Life Bar. And basically you could go and check the other videos I talked about. I talked about Sony, Microsoft, and of course this one is for Nintendo. So for Nintendo. Now, again, this is one of my preferred console playing games. No offense about that. Bias, yes, I am. There's no such thing as unbiased. I've said that multiple times, so you'll get it what it is. But I could still be objective and tell you what's going on with Nintendo and what's going on with the gaming industry. So let's talk about, and you go check out the other stuff I've talked about. Like I said, Sony and Microsoft got their own thing as well. So let's talk about Nintendo, shall we? Now, just having it here. People, it's weird. People was counting Nintendo out this year for some weird reason. The droughts, there's no directs, there's not stuff. Again, I've said it multiple times. There is a virus that affects a lot of things. It affected Sony and Microsoft as well too. But for some reason, Nintendo has regained their balance, get their footing right, and from since June until July until now, they've been dropping directs, mini directs, partner directs. They've been knocking it out of the park with the directs. Find out what you need to know about. Sony has done their Sony showcase, and so then the Xbox with their gameplay stuff, which is kind of funny, there wasn't no gameplay in there, but what I digress. I move beyond that. But they did the same thing too. E3 was canceled. Technically speaking, E3 should have just, right now E3 is basically dead. It just should be. Don't see no real reason for it. It went beyond where it's supposed to go. But people was out there, bitching and moaning. Oh, Nintendo ain't got no games. They just released one game, which is Animal Crossing, and that's about it. And they ain't got nothing to do. They're dead for the rest of the year. We have not seen no Bayonetta 3. We have not seen no more Heroes. We're not seeing no Metroid Prime 4. Shut up. I'll say the same thing with Microsoft and Sony, including Microsoft, if you go listen to that, I gave them a positive view on stuff. Just wait until the game comes out. There's plenty of games out there. The thing about this that annoys me is when we had the Wii U, all Nintendo has is exclusive, no third parties. Now the third parties stand gracefully has stepped up and released some great games, which I'll talk a little bit later. Now we ain't seeing the Nintendo games. Can't make you bitches happy, but it's not a bitch fest. This is to tell you what's going on. But what Nintendo was doing worked out for them. After dropping several games last year, Fire Emblem Treehouse, Ring Fit, Luigi's Mansion, Pokemon, they added expansions to it. So you had to pay for the season pass for Pokemon, which I did, which I released one, which was good, and then we released one sometime in fall or maybe November. Then Fire Emblem Treehouse had the same thing. Their last one came out in March, I think, but they had expansion. Ring Fit, very hard game to get right now, selling out all over the place. Animal Crossing, hard game, selling all over the place. Positive, and also with the virus, Nintendo has made a bank as a company, made a lot of money. Well, at the end of their last thing, $4 billion. $4 billion, dude, US dollars. That's a lot of money on just these games, on just a few games, which, like I said, Animal Crossing was part of it, and also a lot of people were buying a Switch like crazy. They couldn't keep up with the demand. Supply chain is messed up. Same thing for Sony and Microsoft. That's what I'm saying. So let's keep it in the realm of reality. But still, in Animal Crossing, they've been releasing free updates. So you can enjoy Animal Crossing and keep on buying, and it's still selling very well. So that's Nintendo is doing what it's supposed to do. Of course, the Switch Lite's another thing that people have been buying, so let's not forget that. Of course. But you can see, fall update 3 days ago. Nintendo Switch, people liking it. They're still doing stuff for ARMS. Ring Fit is crazy hard to get. I got mine's good. If you find yours, get yours. Pokemon Fun Game for Me series. And like I said before, third-party games have stepped it up. Now Nintendo has dropped a couple good bombs on us with the whole 3D Mario All Star. I guarantee you that's selling well. Again, remember that at the beginning of this year, they only had a few stuff and they still made a lot of money. So now you have Mario All Star that's coming out, and of course Fire Emblem Warriors. And then I can't forget Xenoblade Definitive Chronicle as well. Yeah, that was earlier this year as well. But then you have Fire Emblem what's it? Hyrule Warriors. I am so sorry. Hyrule Warriors. Oh my goodness, that's gonna sell really good. The way they set this game up and is attached to Breath of the Wild, which is a very phenomenal game. This is gonna sell well. No ifs, ands about this. This game gonna sell well. 3D World's gonna 3D also gonna sell well. Mario 3D World with Bowser Fury is gonna sell very well. I don't know about it. They got Kirby All Stars and all this fighters and everything. Little niches in there that to get people to buy. And again, the third-party games have stepped up. That's the part I like the most. Including the Monster Hunter Direct and everything. Oh my goodness, they stepped up. So Nintendo has stuff to back them up. Indies have stepped it up. Third parties have stepped it up. So Nintendo has games to think. Because again, Immortal Phoenix Rising. Hopefully, like I said, I'm seeing some gameplay of it. It looks pretty alright. Not really that bad, but it looks pretty alright to look at. Hope it's not a pain in the butt, but yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It looks like he has gameplay and everything. So hopefully they Ubisoft do a really good job of it. You know, expansive world, different things. Hey, it is part of what is going on. But I got my eye on this game. I'll give it a thing. I'll give it a see through and see if I will pick it up for me or not. But hey, new games, new ideas. So I give a shout out to Ubisoft for coming up with this. And then of course you have what's it? Gresham Impact. Yeah, Gresham Impact, which is also kind of a Breath of the Wild, big old world and everything too. So yeah. Let's see how things work. And I'm doing this way because I just wanted the people to know that, because I'm not like a third party part of the business of gaming thing. Overall, I'm just going to the three companies, and I'm mixing the third party games into the both companies, because I did it for Sony and I did it for Microsoft, so I'm doing it for Nintendo too, just to mix it. But you have that Gresham Impact looking good, and then you have, like I said, the third parties that step up the game to play on the Nintendo Switch. Even though it's the least powered console, blah blah blah, that everybody always have. This, as they say, you know what? Coming to the Switch. That's it. Third parties as well has stepped up. So that's third party in indie as well. As you can see right here, like this game is, indies have stepped up and on the Switch as well too, and they've done a lot of goodness on them, because again, when I go to the IR page and we talk about they call it the digital sales from indie games and stuff, it's also billions of dollars for Nintendo. So they struck the core with the right system, one, and two, also added they struck the right system, and also added the have the north the north have the namesake now that's super popular, that indies could come and boast good look big games like this, or like Sony, I'm not Sony, like, or the third party developers as well. So that's something that is pretty good to have on your system. Now, if they want to keep up with the momentum, a lot of people don't think this, but I've said it before, and I think it is true. I'm sorry, but like, I do think Nintendo needs to have a more powerful Switch. Just to keep up with the third parties, so you don't mix too much. That the third parties don't have to drop too much from the Xbox Series X or from the PlayStation 5. So there might be a Switch 2 or a Switch Pro. I would think that's the best thing to do, because it sounds like crazy, and I think this year is good enough, but I think next year would be a good thing to have, so people could remember Nintendo's console more powerful. Hopefully they work out the Joy-Con drift a little more better, have a better design for the Joy-Cons. And I don't care if you don't need to have 4K. And I'm not for that. I'm just want to give you enough power. And if they could do good stuff with the batteries and everything, that you get the same battery as the new enhanced Switch that we have right now, but you could run some of these third parties, because they're not going to optimize for the freaking thing. The indies, I give that, but the third parties are not going to optimize. Let's be honest with that nonsense. They're not. So let's just go with that. Let's just go with that setup. So so they need, like I said, they need to have a good setup for all this, for the gaming, right? So we'll wait to see how that works out. Sadly, Nintendo now has I'm gonna put a video. I want to put a video on the channel about that. But the Nintendo 3DS is in production. So if I was you, like me, and in the video I'm gonna show you, I have a Nintendo. I have got me a backup custom system, just in case. I have a backup system just in case. I bought mine early this year, but we'll see how it works out in stores or whatever. But if you're a 3DS person and you have a library, a very powerful library like I do, it'll be smart to buy a backup system. That's all I'm telling you right now. You'll be crazy if you don't. That's the way I look at things. But we have, so go ahead and get that. All right. Nintendo's woes. Here's this. I have a problem. Again, I don't like, for Nintendo side too, I don't like the word salad. I don't like this time exclusive thing. Just said the game come out first and the Switch is gonna switch and move on, because it's not exclusive by the definition. It's not. And like Dragon Sword 11, it's going on PlayStation now. Who did not saw that coming? I won't be surprised if Astral Trains go to the PC. You saw what happened to 104 101, stuff like that. So just say, hey, you could play this game first on the PlayStation and the Nintendo Switch. That's all good, but don't do that time exclusive stuff, okay? For people. Now, for a Nintendo fan, they're like, oh, the game's coming out, looks good, I'll play it. Yes, But for people with multiple consoles, and most people do, not I, but most people do, I will get a PlayStation 4. I don't know if I'll get this year or maybe mid next year, but I will get that. I will. I'm gonna pick up some of these games on the PlayStation 4. Not these games, but exclusives only. PlayStation 4. My SRW Moonwalkers, the Spider-Man, the God of War, the Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, that stuff. Yes, but that's one. Two. I wish that again. You heard me say it multiple times. I said again, but you at the point. Nintendo is literally at the point to release the daggone. Give us the full process of the SD cards like you did for the Wii U, Wii, and 3DS. Just do that. You're like 99% there, so just go with that. Just go with that. That'll be just a better thing to do. So, but so go. That'll be a gripe that I have, and I wish Nintendo will do that. That's just me saying that. Now, anything else they could improve on? I would say was they have gripes with. I found this one a gripe, and it is a little gripe. But I wish there was a way Nintendo, because you're gonna do that on the Wii U, which is weird. I hate how they take the features. Can you Nintendo is there a way that you can find, like when a Switch Pro comes out or whatever, find a way? Is there a way that you could find to give somebody a game on an eShop or something? You buy it and send it to them. That'd be a good thing, just in case people, can't do it for Christmas. But with the virus going on, you can't go to people's houses and everything. If you're gonna do the eShop, that should do it. Now, of course, if you're gonna do it, the only reason you could do it is with the Nintendo card, and you send them the code and they activate it. But nah, you still gotta buy it as a gift on a Nintendo shop and gift it to the person. That I wish they did that. I wish they did that, but they don't. So that'll be another thing to do. Now, going on Nintendo, like I said, I ain't gotta worry about them. They're making bank. Like, I was laughing at Linus, because Linus was doing a video in his WAN show that just passed Friday, talking about saying stuff and say, wait, Microsoft could go buy Nintendo. And it was like, wait a minute. No, he looked up. Wait a minute. Nintendo have 11, it's more than that, but he's looking, because he's just looking at the Googles, whatever. But Nintendo has over $16 billion at cash. You ain't buying a company that has that kind of money on cash. You can't. It's crazy. Unless they want to sell to you. Other than that, and I don't think Nintendo's gonna do that. Sorry, Nintendo's gonna do that. So no, we switch from that point on. With that, I'm liking also that Nintendo is going to a lot of T-rated games with their games, and so people can have fun in most of their games. This still is a company for little kids and everything, but mostly to the family aspect. So I love that. That's good. And again, they have a plethora of games to come out right now. Like I said, you have Mario 3D World also just came out. You have other games that's coming out as well too. A lot of third-party games. And then you have this game right here. You have Breath of the Wild. This game right here is coming out November 20th. You have Bowser 3D Party. They still have No More Heroes. You still have No More Heroes. You still have No More Heroes. You still have Nintendo Bayonetta 3, which will be good for next year. Breath of the Wild 2. Like, they still have a lot of they have a lot of arrows still in the quiver to use. Still. So I'm not counting this, so don't count them out. Is games gonna slow down? It's gonna happen. I've said it multiple times, not once and twice. A drought is not a bad thing. I have not played all the games I have a Switch. You saw my collection of games. I have, at this moment now, I have over 95 games for the Switch, digital and physical. Well, most of them is physical. That's a lot of damn games. I beat all of those games. Heck, I just bought. Let me help you out with, and that's what we're saying. The third party has stepped up their game, and let's talk about like now I'm going to go a little bit personal in this. With I'm gonna go a little personal on this one. I bought 3D All Stars. I just bought. These are the games that I'm buying this is the end. This is from July down. I'm still looking forward for the Pokemon expansion pack, but I have bought Samurai Jack digitally. I'm getting it physically because the game was good, so I bought it. Check out the review on the channel, discussion review. I have bought 3D All Stars. I bought Captain Tsubasa, the football game. I got Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Got that to go with. Ys Origins. Blastmaster 1, 2. Wizard of Legends. 11. Shantae 7 Sirens. That's 12. Of course, Trials of Cold Steel 4 is coming out next year for the Switch. Gain that. Ys 9. Gain that. Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury. Also getting that. Like, I have so much game. I just bought. What is that? I don't want to put it up because it does show stuff. But a game where they did the partners game and it was not what do you call it, showing that it was showing on the Japanese side but not on the American side. The premium, you got to do the right stuff and it looked like more Master Demon Blade. I pre-ordered that. That's coming out, but that's coming out end of October. So I still have the Divisible, which of course is another third-party game. Of course, I have Monster Hunter Stories that will add to the list. Like, my list of games to buy is on my Switch, and Nintendo's going to profit off of that. Some fully, some partial. They still have the other games in Quiver. They have this. Now, if they come out 2021 with a newer version of the Switch, I think Nintendo will be. They're solid. They're solid until they're ready for the next console, but they're solid. So, if I say everybody right now, if anybody is at the point right now is hurting, is Microsoft is in the yellow. I didn't give a color bar for that. Red is bad, but it's yellow for Microsoft. Sony's green for now. We'll see what the PlayStation do. Nintendo is green. Like, they're up there and they're like Link right now in some of the games where you're fully powered and you go do you can shoot out the blade power. Just Nintendo's on that point right now. Now, this is me going into the industry from those companies. Again, I'm not looking at. I put third parties in there piece by piece because I'm not going to do a third party whatever. But from the mobile and the third party part, I'm just saying this right now. They right now are doing. Or they're in the yellow. If I ever give them something, they're in the yellow because most of the games don't have souls. They're basically, and I dig Nintendo for this as well too with the deluxe stuff. But Sony and Microsoft with the PlayStation 5 and 4 and Xbox Series is going to be worse than that. Now you got to charge $70 and still have the microtransactions in there, which is that right there is like now you're just pissing people off. So. But we need games with more soul, like a Samurai Jack or Breath of the Wild. Like I said, as Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, we need those soul games that have fun, you could enjoy, or like the indie games I show, you could do it. Again, we're at a point right now where people are going for the quick cash and not thinking of the long terms. So as I said before, I hope Microsoft put a fire on a Bethesda book to make solid game with that buggy. Remember, people talking about like Doom and Birds. Those are by other companies, IDs and everything. The Bethesda games need to be polished. So I hope Microsoft do that. But right now, looking at what I gotta buy for my Nintendo Switch, and if they do a couple stuff I just suggested, dude, they're golden for the next. If they come with a Pro next year, they're golden for the next 4 years. Four years, I would say. And again, remember, I predicted that the 3DS would last beyond 2019. Back in 2018, when people were saying it should die. It's 2020. That's not a stop production. Who's been right? I have. But I think they need a Switch Pro or Switch 2, something in there to keep up so the third parties don't start doing that bull crap they did with the Wii U. They could have put out other games on the Wii U, they just didn't want to optimize, and that's when Nintendo tend to with the game stuff. We've seen it, so let's not do that. Let's make sure that they have enough power that they could at least do something in the game itself. So Nintendo, yeah, just do that. I think they'll be alright, but they're doing very well. They ain't got nothing to worry about at all. So, if anything, I'll save this the best for last. But good job up. Let's see what's going on with that. And again, the conclusion will basically be a rant because there is in the industry itself this is bad. And again, a lot of people getting mixed up. Just because you make money doesn't mean that it's good. You can make a lot of money and the product could be crappy. Okay, so be careful of that. Yes, the gaming industry is making money, but again, the practices they've been doing is not great, and it will cause a pop in a bubble. But right now, let's see what happens. All right. So with that said, I'm gonna call it there. I wish you guys a good night. Thank you for listening to me talk about this stuff. Remember, there's no perfect games out there. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Simply enjoy your games on all consoles, even PC. Good night.